It looks like fear. It looks like fear, like he's scared of me. I think he's getting put into a corner now where he's running out of excuses. He said that the only thing I bring is 25 extra pounds, and I'm not worth nothing, but he's asking 200 million, and now he's gonna fight me in the same night. This shit's just stupid, bro. Like, you just tell the people you don't want to fight me.
Do you think, like, you know, his hunger is dissipating? You know,
I don't know. I can't talk to you about what his hunger is or how his training is or how he feels. I can only speak to you about myself.
Canelo Alvarez's hesitation around David Benavidez goes deeper than money or titles. It traces back to a Big Bear training camp where a young Benavidez was forged in brutal sessions with Gennady Golovkin. Experiences that helped shape the blueprint he now believes can topple boxing's reigning king.
The first day we sparred when I was 15 years old, I remember I went there, that's before he fought in the U.S., so nobody knew him. And then my dad was like, hey, you want to spar? And I'm 15 years old. I'm like, yeah, I'll spar. He's like, who are you going to spar? I'm like, that guy over there. So I turn to look at Golovkin, and he gives me, bro, the most killer look I've ever seen. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm kind of scared, to be honest with you. But I'm like, I'm not. If my dad thinks I can handle it, well, fuck it, let's go. Having a great sparring, both catching each other. We both throw a left hook at the same time. Boom, hit it to the body. We both go, oh, step back. We both step back.
Imagine being 15 years old, worrying about school and video games, not stepping into a freezing mountain gym to trade punches with the most feared fighter on the planet. That was David Benavidez's reality in 2013 when a teenage Benavidez was brought in to spar with a prime Gennady Golovkin, who was dismantling everyone in his path. Most professionals wouldn't dare step into the ring with GGG, yet a still-growing kid took on what felt like a survival test. Benavidez admits he was terrified, but that fear sharpened his instincts. He wasn't there to win, only to survive.
It's hard. I mean, he didn't hurt me at all, but he does hit hard. But the thing about Golovkin, he has so much twist and turn on his punches, and he knows precisely how to throw them. That's what makes his punches hard. And he has heavy fists too, so all that put together that's why he knocks people out like the way he does. You know what I mean? People don't get up. I seen him knock, I was in training camp with him one time. I seen him knock 4 guys out back to back.
Back to back.
Back to back. One would get out. He would drop one would get out. Another one would get in. He'd drop him another one. And that guy, he's a real deal.
So did you think like, oh man, I gotta go spar with this guy now?
No, I was the first one that was sparring him.
Oh, really?
But I would warm him up, basically. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. I learned so much from him, you know, from my defense and all that. And you could go ask him, you could go interview him, and he'll tell you about our sparring sessions. We had some amazing sparring sessions. Man. Yeah.
That's crazy work right there.
Yeah. I mean, that just molded me, you know, because I didn't have a big amateur career, but I feel like I didn't have any of the bad habits of the amateurs, you know what I mean? So when I did turn pro, I had all the, you know, I fought like a pro already when I went into the pro game. I didn't have to settle into, you know what I mean? I already knew what I was doing. I knew what to go for, you know, and I knew I didn't make any bad, I didn't have any bad habits in the ring, basically, so I just...
Benavidez recalls watching Gennady Golovkin knock out 4 professional sparring partners in a single day. It's a moment that taught him a brutal lesson in boxing. You're either the hammer or the nail, and pushed him to become the predator. Instead,
an amateur, now you're a middleweight, making waves out there. How do you feel training in Big Bear has helped you and prepared, being around the camps that are out there and also the fighters that are out there?
You know, we trained in Golovkin's his gym up there. Even though he wasn't there's nothing but great fighters out there, man. And I feel like I benefit a lot because I got in the ring with them, you know, 3 times a week with great fighters. And I feel like I benefit a lot. I learned a lot from each style. There was Russian. I learned the fighter that I just fought. There's this guy out there I sparred exactly like him. So I knew they were gonna come with big shots. So you know, I kind of anticipated the shots and got him with the counter shots. But I feel like I did really good.
Now, your brother fought last week, and now you're finally making a name for yourself. Typically, when they bring up the Benavidez family, of course, they go to Jose first. Now you're becoming somewhat of a gym legend. People have heard the rumors about what happened with Gabriel Rosado and you put sparring with Golovkin. You kind of touched on it before, but kind of elaborate a little bit more. How do you feel that sparring with them has prepared you at such a young age to be a professional fighter and rise up to the rankings?
You know, it really, the first thing when you get in the ring, the first thing you feel is power. And I've sparred with these guys since I was a little kid, so I think I've got prepared to the power to the point where it's not really real power, but you know, you start to be cautious. You don't want to get caught, but I've seen way more power than anybody that I'm gonna get in the ring with. But you know, it's preparing me for what's coming next in the future.
Surviving the sparring was only part of it. Benavidez was also studying Golovkin's secretive preparation. He noticed GGG's unnatural heavy power wasn't just genetics, but training, including a daily kettlebell exercise that brutalized the wrists and forearms. Benavidez adopted the technique, believing it turned the fist into a solid, unyielding weapon. a Soviet secret many say they still feel when he lands clean.
Surviving the sparring was one thing, but Benavidez was also watching GGG's strange, almost secretive preparation rituals. He noticed that Golovkin possessed an unnatural kind of heavy power, the kind where a jab feels like a brick hitting your forehead. Benavidez realized this wasn't just genetics, it was engineering. He observed GGG doing a peculiar exercise with a kettlebell every single day. Golovkin would hold a heavy kettlebell by the handle and rotate it slowly on its flat side, twisting his wrist back and forth until his forearms were screaming. It looked simple, but it was grueling. Benavidez stole this technique immediately. He realized that by strengthening the tendons in the wrist and forearm, he could turn his fist into a solid, unyielding object. Today, when opponents say Benavidez hits differently, they aren't feeling normal power. They are feeling that stolen Soviet secret.
Like you said, you will...
The years passed. Those brutal sessions shaped Benavidez's fighting identity. The Mexican monster now reflects a larger, younger echo of Gennady Golovkin, applying relentless pressure by cutting off the ring, trapping opponents with footwork rather than speed, and overwhelming them with volume. Benavidez has openly credited Golovkin for his development, acknowledging that the fighter the world fears today was forged in GGG's laboratory.
You have been training with Gennady Golovkin, sparring with him. You actually sparred with him when you were 15 years old, right? How was that as a 15-year-old sparring with him?
15-year-old is the thing that saved me. I wasn't really as scared as I didn't know who he was when I was 15. I just seen this guy and he gave me like this scary look, and I was like, damn. But you know, as me, I had to held my ground. You know, I held my ground. I felt really good. You know, and he liked the work, and I went back last week, 2 weeks ago, and you know, we did really good work again, and now he has me as a main sparring partner. So, you know, it's really a blessing. You know.
And now, okay, so you sparred with him when you were 15, but now older. How have you changed, and how has he changed? You know,
his power is still there. He's a great fighter, so he has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. But for me, you know, it's 5 years ago that I sparred him. Now I have 5 years of experience. You know, there's a lot of things I've learned in those 5 years. You know, but the thing that hasn't changed is that we've been giving each other great work. You know, the work is great. You know, everything is great. You know, and I'm very.
Connection to Golovkin adds a compelling layer to the drama with Canelo Alvarez. Benavidez claims Canelo's camp refused to spar with him years ago, believing he was already shaped by GGG's methods. The fear was that he could blend Golovkin's pressure with insights into Canelo's habits, an unsettling combination. Now, Canelo doesn't just see a challenger. He sees the style that gave him his toughest fights, reborn in a younger, hungrier fighter.
Carl Froch, Triple G, and a lot of fighters have been praising.
Yeah.
How's it been training with Triple G?
So it's been good, man. You know, we started the camp. We have it's about to be 2 weeks already. You know, camp is going great. You know, I'm in there sparring with one of the best fighters today. And, you know, it's a blessing to be a part of this great training camp.
How's it been sparring with him? How's his power?
It's been good, man. You know, of course, everybody knows Triple G is a strong puncher. You know, he's a strong fighter, but it's also a lot. He thinks a lot in the ring. You know, and it's very great working, being able to work with him.
How's his IQ? Because people talk about how he cuts off the ring.
Yeah, his IQ is very high, man. It's only when you're sparring him, when you're really up against him, you can really see how he works. It's not only cuts the ring off. He waits for you to make that one little mistake. And you know, that body shot, man, and you know, it's a scary punch. Whoever gets touched, that body shot is going down.
Is there a deadly punch that you think that's his go-to weapon, whether it's an uppercut, a hook, or a body shot?
You know, well, he has a variety of weapons he could use. You know, he has an uppercut, you know, left hook. He has that looping overhand that hits you at the top of the head. But I think the most deadly shot is the left hook to the body. You know, but you know, and his jab is really underrated. Well, not underrated because they give him a lot of credit for it, but he doesn't. He has a variety of weapons he could use, man. So it's not only a left hook to the body. You know, you really gotta protect every part of yourself because he's really deadly. He uses a lot.
Benavidez isn't relying on intimidation alone. He has a tactical plan rooted in Golovkin's teachings. He believes the key to beating Canelo is a heavy jab and refusing to give ground, arguing that backing up against a power puncher only invites danger. He points to Dmitry Bivol's win over Canelo as proof the blueprint works, but says he adds, a level of aggression Canelo hasn't faced since the Golovkin trilogy. Benavidez now claims the window has closed. It's insisting he's evolved the style beyond what Canelo can solve.
Honestly, I give Gennady Golovkin all the credit he deserves because he's the reason why I'm the fighter I am today. Because when I was to spar him in there, you know, those were not sparring sessions, they were real fights. And he'd push me to the level, so I'd have to find different ways to block, to get out the way, because, you know, he was punching with everything. So he made me learn more and push my IQ up, you know, just to be in there with him, you know what I mean? And I learned a lot with him. So yeah, I give him all the credit. You know, I'm the fighter I am today because of those sparring sessions I had with him. I sparred him from 15 till 19 years old. The last time I sparred him is when he fought Daniel Jacobs. So I learned a lot from that guy. So, you know, hats off to Gennady Golovkin. He's a great man. He's a great champion in and outside the ring. And, you know, I owe him a lot. Because at the end of the day, I give respect to Canelo. He's a great fighter.
Yeah.
He's one of the best Mexican fighters of all time.
But wanting to fight him, David, is not bashing him.
Yeah.
That's not bashing him.
But that's what I'm saying. They spin the narrative on Instagram. Right. If I say something, they say this or that. But I only want what I earned.
Right.
And I'm entitled to it. From what the WBC told me, they say you win the title limiter, we'll give you a title shot. You win the WBC interim title, we'll give you a title shot. I've been in this position for 3 years. So just because Canelo, he could do what he wants, as he says, right. He's not going to fight the top competition. And he's holding all those belts hostage, bro. And it's not like, you got other great fighters too. You got me and David Morrell's there. Yeah. How is it fair that these sanctioning bodies let him pick and choose who he wants to fight? And then the Canelo fans too that be talking shit, bro. Like, do you guys not want to see the best fights?
Right.
Like, I don't understand. I'm just trying to make the best fights happen. And that's it. At the end of the day, I just want to give the fans what they want.
Tragedy for boxing fans is that this fight may never happen because the risk is simply too high. Canelo Alvarez is a legend, but legends are often haunted by their past, and David Benavidez stands as a living reminder of the wars Canelo fought with Gennady Golovkin. As the spiritual successor to the GGG style, forged in the fires of Big Bear, Benavidez poses a familiar nightmare. The question isn't whether Benavidez is ready for Canelo, it's whether Canelo is ready to face that nightmare again.
The way I've seen him handle my presence is he's definitely scared of me. You know, if you have a fighter talking so much trash in front of you, why don't you make an example of him to the world? Beat me in the ring and make a whole lot of money. But Canelo Alvarez, as you can see from every time he fights a guy that's big with power, like Bivol, you know what I mean? And he's not able to suppress these fighters as much as he's able to suppress the little fighters. You know what I mean? So he sees a lot of things in me that he can't stop. You know, not only does he see speed, does he see power, but he sees a lot of heart in me. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm going in there and I want to prove myself to the world that I'm the greatest fighter. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't scare me to get in there with another great fighter because I know that elevates me and who I am as a competitor. So that's I know for a fact that he sees in me. At the end of the day, he should have took the fight with me way back then, because if he had a chance to beat me, it would have been back then. He has no chance of beating me now, especially now I'm getting all this confidence. You know, I'm stepping into my prime. You know, I'm able to deal with these bigger shows better. You know what I mean? I'm able to thrive in these shows. I'm able to, every time I fight, I'm always winning by a significant amount. You know what I mean? So I'm learning my craft better and better each and every single fight. I'm gaining more confidence every single fight. And like I said, I really want to go in there and hurt people. I'm not a boxer. I'm a warrior, and I go in there, I tear everybody up.
I agree, by the way, with that analysis. I think Canelo's best chance to get you was when you were on your way up. And to be honest, David, I didn't think you took it as seriously then as you do now. The way Floyd caught Canelo on Canelo's way up, now it's more of a problem. One of the things, guys, real quick, no one's ever beaten Canelo with Benavidez type style. The guys who beat Canelo move, right? Who has ever brought it to Canelo, because he's such a great counterpuncher also, and beaten him that way?
That's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.
That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an update. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.